Hello everybody, my name is Mrs. Tracy and I will be your school counselor when you come to Wayne Elementary. Since we're not able to come into the building, I thought that I would do a virtual tour so that you could see some of the locations that you will be visiting once you come back to Wayne. So we're going to start here in the office. So this is the office area. This is where the secretaries are located, the assistant principal, and our principal, Mrs. Ferguson. You may come to the office if you're late to school, if you forgot something, your parents drop it off, or if you have to deliver notes. Now we're going to head to the art room. Art is one of your special areas. You can see the art flag. We have flags all throughout the building to let you know where certain locations are. This is the art room, and your art teacher is Miss Gallagher. Now, the art room looks a little different because we're still setting up for the new year. You have art once every cycle. We're on a 5-day cycle, so you will have art one time for 50 minutes throughout that cycle. As we leave art and we head down the hallway, we are going to go towards the primary center of the building. This side of the building houses kindergarten, first grade, and third grade. This is what we call the foyer area. This is where students may line up if it's raining outside, but typically students line up outside. They'll hop off the bus, which you can see the bus loop, and they'll wait outside right in front of these doors. There are paraprofessionals and other adults waiting outside for you. As we make our way down the hallway, we're going to go into the kindergarten area. This is the kindergarten pod area. Here we have hooks where the students hang up their backpacks. We have bathrooms on each side, and we have a large common area for kindergarteners to work in. Here we have 2 kindergarten classrooms. This is one of our classrooms. This is Mrs. Kelly's classroom. And again, it's not set up because we're still over summer, but you can get an idea of what a kindergarten classroom looks like. We're now going to leave kindergarten and we're going to go to first grade. That means we're going to go back up this hallway and up the stairs. Here are the stairs that lead us to first grade and part of third grade. Once up the stairs, you go to the left and you enter into first grade. This is the first grade pod, and just like kindergarten, we have bathrooms on both sides and another area that houses teacher supplies and 2 classrooms on each side. This is Mrs. Lowe's classroom. Mrs. Lowe is one of our first grade teachers. And although our school is not completely ready, it does give you an idea of what the first grade pod looks like. Over on the other side, we have our other 2 first grade teachers. We have Mrs. Waters and Mrs. Economides' class. As we leave first grade, we go across the hall and we enter into third grade. This is the third grade pod. One thing about Wayne Elementary is that our pod areas look very similar. We have 2 bathrooms, again, on each side. And then we have 2 classroom teachers on each side. And we're going to go into Mrs. Carr's third grade classroom. The other part of third grade is located on the other side of the building, and we will visit that soon. Next stop is the Little Theater. To get to the Little Theater, we have to exit out of the third grade pod, turn left, and go back down the stairs. After coming down the stairs, we are back in the foyer area that I showed you a few minutes ago. As of now, we did a big circle. But instead of going right to the art room and to the office, this time we're going to go left. The Little Theater is located right around the corner. The Little Theater is a stage area where we have most of our assemblies. When we leave the Little Theater, if we continue down the hall, you're going to end up in the cafeteria. This is where all students eat lunch. You eat lunch with your grade level and with your classroom. Tables are set up. You can either pack your lunch or you can buy your lunch. If you choose to buy your lunch, you go through that door and circle around. That is where the kitchen is. Again, this is the cafeteria. It doesn't look like it usually does because we are still getting ready. But as you can see, the wall to the Little Theater opens. This is so that we can have whole school assemblies. It gives us an extra large space. The next stop is the gymnasium. To get to the gym, you actually have to come through the cafeteria. The gym is through these doors and up those steps. Okay, at the top of the steps is the gym. Your gym teacher's name is Mr. Tracy. And this is the gymnasium. Gym is one of our specials. Again, you have 5 specials. And on a 5-day cycle, you will go to one special each day for 50 minutes. And yes, that is a rock wall. Students have lots of fun when they're in gym. We're going to leave the gymnasium area and we're going to go to another special. We're going to go to the library. So we're going to go back down the steps and head to the library. After leaving the gym, we walk down this hallway and come to the intersection of the building. To get to the library, we are going to go down this hall. And again, there is the library flag to let you know you have reached the library. Welcome to the library. The librarian's name is Mrs. Dahlstrom. And again, library is part of that special cycle. You will come to library once during the cycle for 50 minutes. Mrs. Dahlstrom does a lot with technology and her smartboard. And then in this little area back here is what we call the Jansen room. This is for our younger students, and our easy reader books are located here. Our higher level books and chapter books are located in the main library area. Mrs. Dahlstrom has a helper named Mrs. Burns who will help you check out books right here. We are going to leave the library and now go down this hallway to the second grade area. But before we get to the second grade area, I wanted to show you the other foyer. This foyer hopefully looks very similar to the other foyer we saw earlier in this video. This foyer is for second, the other part of third, fourth, and fifth graders. And again, students will line up in this area if it's raining outside or snowing, but typically students will get off the bus and they will line up outside. Paraprofessionals and other adults are also outside waiting to greet you. When it is time to come in, students will come through these doors and either go down that hallway or up those steps to their classrooms. This is the second grade pod area. And again, hooks for students to hang up their backpacks and their coats, an area for lunch bags, 2 bathrooms on each side, and 2 classrooms on each side of the pod. Here we have Mr. Gray, Miss Weiland. Over on this side of the building, we will have Miss Kern and Mrs. Bratz's, all second grade teachers. We're going to go into Mrs. Bratz's second grade classroom. Mrs. Bratz's also has a small side room. Some classrooms will have a small side room located right there. We are going to leave second grade and go into the new wing of the building. The new wing is located right off the second grade pod area. You can also access this side of the building from the cafeteria. This side of the building will have several classrooms. 2 fourth grade teachers will be located down this end. Your wellness teacher is located right here. Again, wellness is part of the specialist cycle. You will have wellness once every 5 days. Down this hallway, you can see the cafeteria. There is also our EL teacher, our reading specialists, counselor, and our tech teacher, Mr. Ragusa, are located all in this hallway. We're now going to go to third grade. This is the third grade pod area. And you may have guessed, we have hooks for coats and backpacks, an area for lunch bags, 2 bathrooms on both sides, and you guessed it, 2 classrooms on both sides of the pod. We are going to go into Mrs. Thompson's third grade classroom for you to take a peek inside. Now remember, the other part of third grade was located upstairs on the other side of the building. It is the only grade level that is split. We're now going to leave third grade and we're going to go upstairs and see fourth and fifth. We are now upstairs and there are 2 pod areas located on the second floor. This is 5th grade, and over to the left is 4th grade. We're going to go through 4th. Again, racks for coats and backpacks, storage area for lunch boxes, bathrooms and a water fountain, and classrooms on each side. we are going to go to Mrs. Cook's 4th grade classroom to take a peek. Here we go. Now you may remember, in the new hallway, there will be 2 additional 4th grade classrooms. Mrs. Barnes and Mrs. Crow will be located downstairs. As I'm getting ready to leave 4th grade pod, I crossed the hall and now I'm in the 5th grade pod area. Very similar to all the other pod areas that we have seen, including the hooks and the areas for backpacks, the water fountain, the bathrooms, and the location of classrooms, 2 on each side. We're going to go into Mr. Roca's 5th grade classroom. Our next stop, we are going to go back down the stairs and go to the music room. We are almost done with our tour. Here we've reached the intersection again of the building. Ahead of us is the library. To the right is the cafeteria and the stairs to the gym. We are now going to go to the left. And you guessed it, there's a flag that shows where music is located. After leaving the music room, we're going to head down the hallway to our very last stop, which is the nurse's station. If you come around the hallway, you will see an opening and a door, and this is where you will go in to go to the nurse. Our nurses are Mrs. Murray and Mrs. Schuster. Upon entering the nurses area, this will be the waiting room, where if you need to come and see the nurse, there are typically chairs right here, and you would just sit. The nurse who sits here would then call you back, and you would get to go into the nurses area, and she will take care of you. When we leave the nurses room, we come back to the hallway, and this is the door that leads us back to the main office. This is the main office area again, where you saw the secretaries and the principal. And this concludes our tour. We're so excited for you to start at WES, and we can't wait to see you.